Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about, first I want to show you what $400 will get you in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. And this is a typical apartment in a nicer area. I do live in a nicer part of Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. I want to show you the apartment, and it's very typical. I've looked at many apartments over the couple of years that I've been here. So I just want to show that in the beginning of the video. And then I will talk about how I take advantage of Africa. A $400 apartment looks like in Abidjan. This is pretty typical that I found. I've looked at many apartments. So basically you get no parking, okay? See, there's no parking. You get a decent building. It's decent. It's well maintained. It's probably built in 2008. You have security walls. There's no security personnel, but you have a door, this door here. This is pretty typical of almost every apartment that you'll see. Everyone's got a key, so it's very secure. There's no lighting. They don't really put up lights. It's almost like a small little, there's no washing machines or dryers that people use, so you're always constantly, this is most apartment buildings where you have people putting out their laundry. It's not built very well, it's not perfect, but this is actually a nicer apartment. It's just a little bit older. They're building another apartment next door, but see, this is their patios. Come up, there's Rexo. Hi Rex, you okay? And it goes up 4 floors. You can go to the roof and put your laundry out. Here's my other security door. Made of solid steel, or I don't know if it's solid steel, but here's my front patio. There's bars on the window. Then door. Oh, hi Grandma. Bath time for Bella. I'm making a video. So there's no central heat and air. There's only these. Every developing country, they always use these wall indoor outdoor units. They don't really cool very efficiently. The doors and windows aren't weatherproofed. The floors are always nice. They always use these hard marble type tiles. Not marble, but there is no hot water in these. The bathrooms are usually pretty basic with a shower head, and then everything's right with the toilet. It's pretty standard. Bars on all the windows. See, we have to have a separate air conditioner, clean control for that. And another bathroom that is pretty much the same as the other one where it's... And so like I said, this is a nicer... Now there are nicer ones. If I wanted to go to the expat area, I could probably spend $1,000 a month and get a nice one. But I'll be paying expensive prices because that's a problem when expats go to other countries and they work for companies. They just spend their money like if they even see it's a little bit cheaper than the United States, they just blow their money. It really fucks up the economy. So I live outside that area. So anyway, that's what about $400 would get you here in Abidjan. Bonjour YouTube, greetings from Cote d'Ivoire. So today I want to talk about someone asked me today, do you really enjoy living in Africa? And the short answer is, I had to think about it for a minute. The short answer is no, I don't enjoy living in Africa. I'd much rather live in America. I mean, everybody wants to come to America, right? Now, just like Thailand, the Philippines, and here in Africa, these are developing countries or third world countries. And they're all pretty much the same. You have extreme poverty. You only have the have and the rich and the poor. There's no middle class. There's no infrastructure really to speak of. And you have to deal with, a different climate than the US.
But my point is that there really are no solutions to life's problems. And I heard this, and I can't remember who said it, so I'm not going to quote, but just basically, maybe it was Thomas Sowell, basically said there are no solutions, there's only trade-offs. Now, like I said, I would like to live in America. I like the infrastructure. I like the comforts that we have there. I'm from California, and I love California. It's beautiful, but it's so expensive. So I was basically faced with two choices, because I like having relationships. I haven't sworn off women, but I did. Now listen, I'm a former MGTOW. I was monk for many years, MGTOW for many years, and I really understand the philosophy of why men do that. So in America, I'm going to dare say that it is impossible to have a relationship with a woman in America, given all the dangers that you face from like marriage laws, even common law. You know, even if you just decide not to get married and let's say you live with a woman, you can still be responsible. It's just like you're being married. You're married, and you're going to fall under that law, family court anyway. So I could have stayed in America, but I have a military pension, and California, it took all my money just to survive in California. I mean, by the time rent, food, and a car, and just living a basic lifestyle, I was broke. So I could have stayed there and enjoyed the infrastructure. I could work and collect my pension, and I could easily make six figures, no problem. And I could live very well, and I did for a little while. Had a motorcycle, car, was a bachelor, did what I want, but I had a roommate in a house, and I lived in Sacramento. So, but I would have to live a nice lifestyle, and then after years of just being alone, I couldn't risk having another relationship in America. You just can't. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what argument you pose. It is dangerous for a man to have a relationship in America with American women. It's just a fact. Now, whether that triggers you or not, I don't care. But the fact is, you were at a disadvantage of trying to have a relationship with an American woman in the United States. And she could be the most wonderful person. You know, I thought I met some nice women in America, of course. I've always had women in America. I'm no stranger to women, but I just felt it was just too dangerous. So the trade-off was I leave the country and I go. Now listen, this is going to trigger a lot of people, okay? There is a difference between taking advantage of your situation or exploiting a situation. So when I say I came to Africa to take advantage of the women here and the economy, that's what I'm doing. I take advantage of Africa, and Africa takes advantage of me. Now, when you exploit something, that means you're taking something away from some other individual or system and not contributing back to it. That's like it's like a parasite. But taking advantage is, I'm taking advantage of the fact that there is no family law here. There's no family court system. I'm not getting married here. I'm not married here. But even if I was, and I can even live with a woman, and if, say, things, were to go south, I could leave that relationship very easily. I have no ties here. Other than that, of course, I have a daughter. I have a tie here, and I'll always take care of my daughter. I don't need a family court to tell me I need to take care of my daughter. And because I live on a pension, and anybody could do this, by the way, which if they have a pension or if they have their money from the United States and you come over to Africa, your money's your money. The African government can't confiscate your funds out of your bank. I think the only way that I could possibly get stuck is let's just, for a hypothetical, let's say if I was a deadbeat dad or something, I suppose if I just left my daughter and didn't contribute, there'd probably be an avenue for them to collect child support from me in the United States. If my relationship went bad, I suppose that's a possibility. I mean, if I were to be like that, if I was that type of man, but I'm not. And they could probably get some child support out of me, but because the economy is such here, it wouldn't be very much. It would be $100, $200, $300 at most, if they wanted to, because having a pension, nobody can touch my money. So I came over to take advantage of that, because I need to have an out. I need to make sure that in the relationship I'm in, because I'm taking advantage of the poverty that's here. I mean, when I say poverty, I'm talking about compared to Americans. Now, I've had some people make comments on my YouTube channel and other people, and I actually, first I want to say this real quick. I actually enjoy the negative comments that I get on the channel. Now, there's been an outpouring of support for me. Obviously, people say, "Oh yeah, you're doing great," and they leave me heart emojis, and that's all great. I appreciate those. However, I like the negative ones for some reason. I really because number one, I want to make sure that I'm covering all my blind spots. And if someone makes an accusation or they say something negative to me, I give it some thought, right? Is that true or is it not true? And so one of the negative things was, you're taking advantage of poor African women. Let me say this again. Yes, I am. Yes, and I'm very proud of taking advantage of the situation I'm in. Who doesn't want to take advantage? Who doesn't want to maximize their advantage in any situation? I'm not talking about exploitation. I'm talking about taking advantage. There's a big difference. So because I've said before earlier in another video, you have to have need in a relationship. If you're in America, and I want to backtrack a little bit, the guys that I know in America, all my friends and other people, they have either stopped dating altogether or not dealing with women whatsoever. And the ones that are dealing with women, their selection, like a friend of mine, he is now with a single mom with kids, and this guy makes almost $100,000 a year, and I had told him several times, hey man, come to Africa, go get your passport, go someplace, and he's not like, he just blew me off. And I've offered this to all my friends. Hey, get your passport. You can come stay with me. You can come visit, and you can actually meet decent, traditional, no single mom. There's single mothers over here, but I think it's probably rare. And yet he chose, because he's stuck. He has a job that he goes to. He's stuck in that whole system. He dates in his hometown, and so he had basically still chose a single mom. I don't, and when I tried to be critical of that, he pretty much stopped talking to me. Okay, it's fine. But, because I understand that it's almost impossible to try to break yourself from America. And listen, because I'm retired, because I have a pension, and so I have more freedom. Most young guys are not free enough to come and do that. So, and when you come here, you're going to meet, if you have your American money here, and listen, I don't, obviously I'm not chasing gold diggers. I know how to sift through those. Okay. I'm pretty much impervious to gold diggers because I don't have any gold to dig, but I have enough to where it makes me very desirable here. I'm making a middle income in a country where the middle income is like, honestly, it's like $10,000 or $20,000 a year if you're a lawyer or a doctor. So I'm making double what doctors make here. So that does make me very desirable. So I'm taking advantage of the situation that I'm in. Why would you not? Why would you not? And it makes the relationship so much easier. I hardly ever, maybe one time, have even had an argument or had any disrespect in my relationships, except for the one in Nigeria. But I told you, I don't recommend going to Nigeria because they're so westernized and the women there are very in tune with American culture. So that's almost like I like Nigeria. I just don't recommend trying to get a Nigerian woman. And you know, the funny thing is, I know people are going to hate me for saying that. I love Nigeria.
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Why they video me?
I dey talk to you, and you
they
still
video
you
me?
press phone to call
they
another
video me?
woman.
Why they video me?
You dey press phone to call another
they video
woman.
me?
Are you out of your
I
sense?
don't have any money to give.
You don't have any money to
don't
give
have
me.
any money to give you.
So do you know how long we've been in this relationship?
I don't have any money to give
You don't have any money to give me.
Get
You
out of
said
my
to
house.
me,
Get out of my
I'm
house.
never going until you said to me. You said to me before I leave.
Mr. Buna about you. I've already told Mr. Buna
Oh,
about you.
you've already
Mr.
told him
Buna
about me.
knows you very well.
Oh,
Mr.
oh,
Buna
like,
knows you
like,
very well.
like,
Yeah.
you're just joking.
Yeah, Nigerian woman.
You're joking. You're just joking.
So I don't have any-
It is better you go
Don't
do
leave my
Yahoo.
house. Leave my
Just go
house.
do Yahoo.
Get
Go
a
do
fork,
ritualist.
get a fork.
Make me I get a fork. To hell with you. To
Good evening, bro. Mr. Bruno, my friend. How are you doing? How's Cote d'Ivoire? It's like I'm coming to Cote d'Ivoire to come and stay there with you. Our Nigerian woman here, they are all after money. They are all after money, not after sex. Before you sex, they will ask you to pay money before you sex. But as I can see, Cote d'Ivoire women, they like sex. They like sex. I'm coming there. I'm coming there. Nigeria women, if you don't give them money, no sex.
It's just so much easier coming to Cote d'Ivoire because the economy is such that, you know, it's a French-speaking country that was colonized by France, so they have a more European attachment. No one here is really speaking English. No one here is really trying to get to America. Whereas in Nigeria, of course, they all come to, you know, want to come to the States. And so by me taking advantage here, so I basically have lowered my standard of living. And if you're rich and well off, you can be comfortable anywhere in the world. If you're making an income like mine, I can make it comfortable enough so I'm okay. But I still have to deal with malaria, the economy. It's so different when you have an apartment here. Like even a nice apartment is it's not, you know, everything's made out of brick. You don't have central heat in the air. Your water is spotty. Your power is spotty. It goes out a lot. So you're gonna have to deal. So I'm sacrificing my comfort to come here, but the relationships that you have here with women is like night and day. And I know a lot of people listen because I've been there and back. I went monk, MGTOW. I know the deepest, darkest levels of the philosophy. I really do. Even I don't want to regurgitate it here because I was able to find myself in a dark place in America, went through hell, swore off women, and then now, because I know enough now, I'm able to navigate relationships a lot easier. And I know what comes with it. Like I know female nature. I understand the dynamics of between the sexes. I understand feminism. I understand that we live in this world where men are expected to sacrifice and die for women, and all in the needs of the you know, just like in America, men pay all the taxes and it goes right to women. I understand all these things on a very deep level. That's the only reason why I'm able to come out of that and leave the country and deal. But because I know all these things, it's almost like you go from lifting 100-pound dumbbell in the States, like I could do it, and then it's like switching immediately to a 20-pound weight and doing flies. That's how easier it is to have relationships, and you can maintain your frame, and you can be the leader in the relationship, and plus you don't have the government backing women to be able to hook that wallet. I am free to leave anytime I want to. If my relationship here, if I get any disrespect, if I get any, if she's not being a help to my life or improving my life in some way, I can leave that relationship immediately. So, and because there's a need they don't have a woman doesn't have an incentive to leave you. And if you vet the woman properly, you can sort of, and it's in here. Here's the problem with vetting women in relationships. It takes time. You can't vet a woman overnight. So let me give you this piece of advice before I sign off. If you are going to meet somebody, there's nothing wrong with dating apps. In fact, I recommend. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, that's crazy." No, dating apps are a good way to. I've used them over here. I don't want to endorse like any specific app, but I used Afro introductions, because you can get on there. And so the easiest way to weave out, because a lot of these women over here, okay, because you're gonna have prostitutes, you're gonna have paid girlfriends and stuff. If you see a woman on there with fake hair and looking glamorous and trying to portray this glamorous lifestyle, or if she really does have some sort of money, find out what she does. And if she says she does hair or makeup or anything like that, run away. Those are usually the prostitutes' paid girlfriends, because there's no way, because it's expensive over here with the average salary being $300 a month. If they have a place and they have nice clothes, that means some sugar daddy is taking care of it. That means she's basically a prostitute. I know that's not going to be a very popular thing, but when I vetted, you can vet through the app very well. I was speaking to a couple women at a time, and what I did was I video called them. I had them show me where they lived, and if I didn't see any hair, if I saw sparse, if they were living very basic and they weren't trying to, show some type of glamour or something like that, and it worked out. And there was a few women I met like that, but I just noticed that if you try to, because you should find a poor woman, you should take advantage of a poor woman. As long as you know who you are, you're a good guy, and your intentions are. For me, my intention was to make a family, so I know that could be taken out of context, but I stick by it. You should take advantage of the advantages that you do have, because, and listen, it's always going to be a double-edged sword. I get taken advantage of it here in Africa. If I didn't have my girlfriend to go out and negotiate price with me to get cabs or to go out and buy things, they will charge me double. I will get taken advantage of. I could probably even be targeted for a crime. It's possible. And I have been home invasion here. It's not completely safe. If anything, I fear the cops over here. The cops are corrupt. When I go out at night with friends, the biggest thing we worry about is cops, because they want to stop. They want to check my papers. They want to. I've been extorted for my passport. But they treat me with respect. But it's like they're looking to get money from me. And people, and people see, listen, they say, oh, you should go to a country and like dress in their traditional clothing. I've tried that. There is nothing that's going to hide me. Like, people stare at me all day long. So I just go ahead and just dress the way I dress. It's obviously, I usually have a New York hat, or, I look American. They know right away. There's no hiding. So you have to know that they're going to try to take it. But the flip side is that I get respected people will say hi. It's very nice, to go someplace and they'll even, I went out with an African friend of mine, but he's not a friend. Actually, the guy turned out to be a jealous asshole prick. But because he was a very educated man, I spoke to him a few times. We went out to lunch. He waited for me at the restaurant because he's African. And he probably makes the same income I do. He's very, very well paid. So in here, he has a high status. And he got to the restaurant first, and they ignored him. They sit there. They ignored him because he's African. And when I got there, all the wait staff came, and then they seated us. And he was so mad. He was like, I can't believe it. He was like very bitter about it. Like he had went to school. His status was higher than mine. He knows because he knows me. And yet he couldn't get attendance, and he saw me getting treated differently from him, and that really irked him, and that really put a kind of a wedge in between our friendship. And he ended up being very jealous and talking behind my back. So anyway, you have to be careful with who you're friends with over here, because there is a lot of jealousy over here. Men will get very jealous. They'll see me out with a woman, an African woman, and of course they're all nice, but I'm very skeptical about guys trying to be friends with African guys, because I don't know what their intentions are. Most of them think I have money, and they could target me for some type of crime or something. So you got to be careful when you come over here. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Have a nice day. See you on the next one.
If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel. I need 1,000 subscribers, so please share this with anybody you know. If you're over 50, please drop a like and a comment in the comment section and tell me about your situation. And if there's anything in the video that you disagree with, or if you have any negative comments, leave them down in the comment section. I love those. I love the negativity. Call me Dusty, call me a brokey, give me your criticism, tell me I'm ugly, tell me anything. All right, thank you, YouTube. See you on the next one.